Where is Wendy Williams? Part one and part two. Y'all, it was hard for me to watch this, but at the end of it, I understood. I understood its purpose. You, let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we shall.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie. Everybody needs
with a whoop whoop and a boop boop.
auntie that's everybody needs.
You can make this up.
Now, you know that these are some crazy motherfuckers.
Everybody needs a sweet old auntie.
So why even bother?
Aunties and lives, sweet old auntie. Aunties and ways. Are you okay? Are you okay?
Well, welcome back, everybody. And this is Auntie. And if this is your first time being here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And to all of my new subscribers, thank you all so much for hitting that subscribe button and joining this family. One of the best kept secrets on the YouTube. And to all of my nieces, nephews, and my members who have been here with me for the long haul, thank you all so much for your support. I want to welcome, let me put my glasses on, Beezy Boom to the membership. Welcome to the family. Welcome. If you all have not already done so, please take the opportunity to welcome Beezy Boom to the membership. Y'all, were we all taken aback, upset, going through tribulations and trials? Were we sad? Were we heartbroken? Did we cry? Did we cringe at watching Lifetime's Where is Wendy Williams part one and part two this weekend? Let me tell you, I had so many feelings, so many emotions, so many what ifs, so many this absolutely could be me. I just want to start off by saying if we don't have our finances together, ensuring that we have our medical documentation in order, trust funds, and all of that, it could easily be us. I have so many stories that I could tell, so many personal experiences that really made this real life for me. Many discussions that I have been having with some of my friends regarding what are the next steps. How do I protect my family? How do I make sure that they get everything that they deserve to get? Are they, it's just so much. And I'm hoping that Pamela and Kevin, our two resident attorneys, come in so that, we can have a discussion and talk about it. I didn't plan it with them. I did not hit either one of them up. So, if they show up in the chat, I'll be looking to see whether or not, let me see if I see them come in. I just have the discussion about how do you not make this you? I was very affected and moved by this. It was hard to get through, but there was a light at the end of the tunnel, and there was a bigger message. There was a bigger. Now, there are people who feel like Wendy Williams has, this is her karma. And people are entitled to feel the way that they feel, right? A lot of people feel like, she did a lot of people dirty while she was on her show and in her prime, including the interview that she had released, that she had undercover with Whitney Houston. Rest in peace. So a lot of people did not feel really sympathetic and empathetic to her. I can and I can understand that. And as I said, I think that people are entitled to their own opinions. And I'm hoping that you all give me the same grace. If you have been with Auntie's advice any amount of the time, you know that I never, hardly ever have the popular opinion. So I am letting you know that some of the things that I am going to be saying here is not going to be the popular, the go with the flow opinion. Okay? Just saying. I'm just saying. When we opened up this episode, we saw, the life of Wendy Williams, her accomplishments and all that. And I think that it took all of us aback, although we had been seeing signs that there were things that was going on with Wendy Williams for quite some time. I have never been the kind of individual who has done the trending topics and news. I've just started picking that up recently. And so, we're going to talk about, what we saw. But I've been watching Wendy Williams for a very long time. Remember when she broke out? As you all know, I'm closer to 60 than I am to 50. Wendy and I are right around the same age. And things that Wendy is going through right now are the conversations that I have been having with people in my life, including my child. I have been doing the research and everything in order to not be in this position. And sometimes you think you have the time to get it done and you don't. I really felt for the family, and we're going to take our time. We're not going to review this like everybody else. We're not going scene by scene, precept upon precept, line upon line. That is not what we're going to do. We're going to have the discussion, a guided discussion about what we saw. When I saw Wendy, laying in the bed and just, being lonely and brokenhearted, it reminded me of an incident that I went maybe about 20 years ago, where there was a woman who was in love with a man. And when she was, when they were good, they were good. But there were things that were going on in the relationship that, of course, you are not privy to. You are not privy to a women's decisions about why they stay with a man who, it's obvious is cheating on them. I truly, absolutely believe, don't have the facts for sure because relationships are complicated and pillow talk is the strongest talk that one would ever have. But I believe that Wendy Williams knew that her husband, okay, was cheating on her. And until a baby was involved in a situation, she was all good. And she wasn't good with it, but she accepted it. And we noticed that during that time period that Wendy Williams really took a turn. And there is a certain I don't know if I wanted to call it a syndrome or whatever I want to call it, but there is a certain thing called dying of a broken heart. And I truly believe that Wendy really went down when she lost her manager, her sidekick, her protector, her friend, her associate, her let me talk about pillow talk, the baby daddy. Wendy lost all of that when she lost the relationship with her husband. And while we standing on the outside have made it people relationships, because that's what we do. That's what we do. We make opinions, and we put our mouths on people relationships and what we think that they need to do, and we like, you go girl, but at the end of the day we don't live in that relationship. And what we did not realize is the effect or the effect, okay, of what took place in Wendy's heart, in Wendy's mind, in her spirit, and in her soul. And I think that anybody who had been really looking at it right saw the effects of the demise of her marriage. I think that one of although I had saw it throughout the whole entire documentary, it was very present when she had the conversation with Black China. Now, if you have dealt with anybody who has had dementia or Alzheimer's, you know that you it's a gradual, it's very slow, right? You kind of blink and you're like, okay, did they repeat? Did they ask that before? It sometimes takes a while, depending on what stage they are in, right? Where you really start to understand, okay, something is wrong. They're repeating themselves, X, Y, and Z, yada, yada, yada. They get that brain fuzz and all of that kind of stuff. And then after a while, you start watching their behaviors and how they move and all of that kind of stuff. And so with Wendy Williams, when she was on air, it seems like, what they call the machine, in my opinion, probably knew that these things were happening, but Wendy was the money maker. Kevin, hang around because I'm probably going to bring you up to ask some questions. Okay, you'll listen. Okay. But I do want to ask you some questions if you could hang around. I know you busy, stuff like that. So when we watched this and we saw Wendy in the bed, y'all, it was devastating. And I'm gonna tell you right now, that god daggone Sean, I can't stand her ass. I noticed at the end she wasn't around anymore, and I hope they fucking fired her. That's my opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. This is free speech up in this month, but I hope that they fired her ass because she did, in my opinion, some dirty, grimy. She did some grimy. Now, Wendy, we saw Wendy as a dementia patient. And I want to make sure that we understand that. I had a girlfriend who had an aunt who had a stroke, okay, along with dementia. When I would come up into her house and visit her, show support, not her aunt, was her grandmother. She would be cursing all day long. This woman was a righteous, religious woman, a father but there are certain things that trigger. Another thing that happens when you are around someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's, the ability to mute yourself, the ability to not say what's on your mind is gone. Bitch, it's out the door. It is out the door. And if you have not experienced like or been around these people, you would say Wendy a rude bitch. Now, I do think that Wendy was a superstar. Wendy was very honest. She said straight up from the beginning, since I was 6 years old, all I wanted to do was be famous. Wendy has no qualms, no problem saying, bitch, that's what I wanted, and that's what I got. A lot of people who are out here on YouTube, TikTok, or whatever, Facebook, want to be famous in their own right. And most of them won't tell you the truth about it. But Wendy said, bitch, I don't care, come hook or by crook. This is what I want. I want to be famous. Wendy was able to do this documentary on the basis of that, with them telling Wendy, satisfying that hunger that was still in Wendy, past the dementia, past everything else. They were able to convince her to do this based on you're going to still be famous and back on television. That drove Wendy. Because as we remember, Wendy lost her mother. After she lost her mother, her goddamn brother was fighting downtown at the funeral. She had to come on air and drag his ass about that. Here she is, fucking around and loses her show and doesn't get told that she's lost the show. And now her son, who she's been taking care of all his fucking life, she's in Miami with him. She's taking care of him. They done put his ass out. They done took her bank account, put her bank account. And that's why I'm telling you all, if you have not created a trust fund or some type of mechanism in order to save your money, it could be you. When Wendy said that, that confirmed the conversations that I've been having with my books that we have been reading together and trying to get us in order. Because let me tell you something. I know that they indicated that this young man, and I'm going to come back, but I know that they indicated to this young man and said that he was the reason why his mom's, stuff went into conservatorship. But I thought about my own child, and I thought about the way that my own child lives. He had a certain lifestyle that he had been accustomed to. And while $100,000, is a lot to me, it's not a lot in comparison to the lifestyle that he had been living. And I want to explain that by also explaining when you see people who rise up or they marry someone who has wealth, not rich, wealth, and they become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. They sue if they get a divorce or they separate or whatever, because they and their children have become accustomed to a lifestyle. So while you think swiping a credit card, I'm talking about the average people like us, swiping a credit card that's $100,000 is abuse, or that he was taking his mother's money and he was misappropriating funds. That's nothing in comparison to the lifestyle that he had been accustomed to living. What is the threshold of my daughter's lifestyle, of your child's lifestyle? Would the bank look at my account and say, Auntie is, she has power, medical power of attorney over her mom, and now she's gone out and she's swiped the credit card for $100,000, you goddamn right they gonna shut it down, because that's not the lifestyle that my child is accustomed to living. However, there is another threshold that she would be accustomed to swiping, because of the lifestyle she lives. She is blessed to be an only child. So are they gonna shut my down? Because of the lifestyle that I have worked and afforded for my child? I listened to Wendy from the perspective of a woman, from the perspective of a Black woman, and from the perspective of a mom. And Wendy's whole thing was that money that I work for, I left and work for my child, which is the same incentive, same motivation that I have to do the things that I do and the things that you do. Most of us work and take the book off of our jobs. And right, I got a good job, but I mean, at one time I didn't, right? But we take getting up every morning when we don't want to, going to work when we're not feeling great, or we could be, or we want to do something else for the benefit of our children. And now to know that there was nothing put in place to ensure that this wouldn't happen is sad, because we don't think about that. Well, I'm not going to say we, I'm going to say a lot of us don't even consider that. And that's why where's my new book? Because, honey, we've been on this book. That's why me and my friends and I have been reading this book. What would the Rockefellers do? We've been reading this, studying, applying this to our lives, creating generational wealth, not just wealth that when I die, you get a check for 500,000, but creating generational wealth. One of the books. This is one of the books that we are studying right now. If y'all want to, I'll link it down in the chat and you can go and get it. But it's one of the books that we've been reading and we've been studying about how to protect our money, how to make sure that the house that you pay your mortgage on doesn't get snatched up from your children sitting in fucking probate for years, like we went through with my parents. Oh, this was a cautionary fucking tale. There were a few things that stood out to me. And that conversation that she had with Black China let me know where she is stuck at as it relates to how people view her on the outside. When Black China came in there and had that conversation with her, she was stuck right at, my name is Wendy Hunter. I'm divorced. He ain't got no money. Was stuck there. There's been other times when we would see her brought to tears because of the relationship or the lack thereof with her son, Kevin. Fucking devastating. Barely could get through it. There are, I think, about 5 or 6 reasons why a bank can do this. And that's why you got to make sure it's sharp. Does it take time and dollars to do it? Yes. But at the end of the day, who wants their child to be Kevin? We got an opportunity to meet Wendy at her home. Wendy is laying in the bed, and I thought Wendy looked bad. Skin looked dry, all over the place. She got a permanent hole in the damn pillow. Look like that bitch ain't been fluffed in 20 fucking years. She laying in there with all her Versace, her Gucci, her all of this. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? She looked horrible. Horrible. The family no longer has control over Wendy Williams because she was in Miami with them. They were bringing her back to health. They said that the production company, now these is all alleged, that they said Wendy got to bring her ass back to New York They said at first there was an agreement that she goes and stays with the family. But after a while, when they extended Wendy's stay, they said, nah, bitch, we ain't got it to do. Bring her back. They said that while Wendy was there, they got her off of the drinking and all of that, and she had begun to gain weight, and her family was pleased with it, but they knew that she was not at the place where Wendy, right, could reconcile her health and all of the things that she had to do for the network. So they wanted her to stay right there, the hill where she was. But that did not happen. It appears, and no one has said, that someone under sealed documents caused Newton Law, right? Someone did something with Wendy's finances that caused them to Wells Fargo to say, bitch, I'm going to secure your account. Now, if you are somewhere, or you may not be somewhere, and a charge comes up on your credit card or whatever, your expectation, okay? Now, again, I am going to be having an unpopular opinion. You are entitled to give your opinion downtown in the chat, okay? As long as you are not disrespectful and you don't talk in all caps, okay? We good. If you are somewhere, right? And this is why I've been talking to you all about trust funds and stuff like that. If you are somewhere and someone charges something on your credit card that looks fucking suspicious, it is your expectation that your financial institution shut that down. You want them to shut it down. Don't let no bitch be somewhere else using my Visa, American Express, bitch, Discover. I don't want you to spend one dime of your money, which is what Wells Fargo did. What I do not understand is at the end when a sister said, okay, I told them I would take the class. I would do what I needed to do. Did you? Okay. Wendy was doing this young lady's nails. Now, I talked to you all and mentioned to you all about dementia and Alzheimer's and how it gives you no filter. If you have ever been around anyone that got dementia or Alzheimer's, they have no fucking filter. So Wendy, we see Wendy getting her nails done. Wendy tells the girl, take that off. First of all, Wendy's always been a prima donna. Let's just go ahead and tell the truth. She paid the bucks. She made her name so that she could be that. People have allowed that over the years, and that's just who Wendy is. But coupled with dementia, Wendy came off rude as fuck. She asked the girl to take something off her nails, and when she did not do it in 1 second, Wendy asked the girl, said to the girl, "Are you stupid?" That is the first time that it triggered my memory of being around dementia and Alzheimer patients. Now, I do want you all to know that in the nursing field, that the dementia and mental illness nurses and stuff like that, it is a huge turnaround because these people who have these things, unbeknownst to them, can oftentimes become irate and sometimes act out in violence. So I want you to understand as we walk through this, that these are things that are common with people who suffer from Alzheimer's and dementia. And you wouldn't know it if you've never been around them. You would not know that this is how they act. But when you get around them, if you're in their presence, you don't know what's coming out their mouth because there is no filter. So when she told the other girl, that ass was fat, basically. Bitch, you fat. Your wig up. Your head look all right, but I mean, there is no filter with them. There is no filter. Dead ass. There is none. When your mind is working at its full capacity, you don't say everything. Because you know that's, even if Wendy would have said it, she would have said it in another way. But because dementia and Alzheimer's takes away that filter, they say what the fuck they want to say to you. But Wendy quickly realized she's mad at me. The girl handled it very well, which led me to believe that she had been seeing this from Wendy a long time. There's some things I just kind of want to highlight and I kind of want to discuss. I don't want to be out here all day and all long. I noticed that, the nephew had a lot to say, and I noticed that the niece had a lot to say, but I noticed that Kevin was very removed from any emotions or feelings, even to the extent where he had met his mother at the restaurant. He was very void of emotions on fucking purpose. And that's when I realized, bitch, bitch, they're being very methodical and deliberate about every damn thing in this. Auntie, you always tell your nieces and nephews on your YouTube channel, listen to what is the fuck not being said. And that boy was sitting there in that interview like this. I had my mother living with me, and I was told that she could not live with me anymore. I said, bitch, there's a bigger picture here. Sit your fat ass back and pay attention. He was just, that's methodical. That's on purpose. When he knew those cameras was around, even at the restaurant, I thought that even though him and his cousin were 45 minutes late and he didn't greet his mother with a hug, I said, bitch. What's the picture here, Auntie? When have you ever been methodical? All of them have done, but I'm just saying. I watched humans like you and me. 73% of our communication is nonverbal. You come here and you watch me speak with you. If I was to sit my ass up here like this, would you like, comment, and subscribe? No. You come here for the other portion of the communication that I'm giving to you. And although you have never been in my presence, you connect to me through my non-verbal communication. We never got to really connect with Kevin. Bitch, you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention. What's going on here? Auntie, what is it? Wendy's nephew, Travis, and DJ Booth, who always worked with Wendy, said that she began drinking heavily after tabloids reported her husband, Kevin Hunter, who had been cheating on her. Her family sent her to rehab in 2019, and later that year, Williams filed for divorce after Kevin had the baby. They say, okay, now at the beginning, Wendy wasn't even in touch with her son because he disapproved of her drinking. Moreover, they indicated that there was an incident where she dismissed him and said, I don't fuck with him. I don't fuck with him. Oh, yes, she did now. Her only child. But when asked in separate occasions about him, the memory of him brought her to tears. She knew he was her only baby. She was appalled that people had said that. But she's already said out of her mouth, I don't fuck with him. We saw Wendy drinking, but yet Wendy said she don't have an alcohol problem, and the family members said that her drinking has sent her to the hospital multiple times. At one point, okay, DJ Booth came into the room, held up a bottle of vodka, and asked her, did you drink all of this today? She said yes, and then she said no. And y'all know through damn near the whole thing, all we saw was the people who were in the house allowing Wendy to not only drink, but to puff. When you are dealing with someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's, you got to be the boss. They're not the boss anymore. And everything that intimidated you can't intimidate you anymore. Fuck what you heard. But Wendy wondered why she wanted family around her and this, that, and knick-knack, paddywhack, give a dog a bone. And family wasn't. Because there were so many things that were done that, number one, will make them don't want to be around you. Who wants to be around somebody that said, bitch, you need to lose weight? And then your feet is looking like a marble statue. And it takes a very mature person to not call that out on her. This is the first time I've ever seen Wendy Williams' feet displayed so many times. She showed it multiple times. It is something that is embedded in her mind that comes up that she now wants to be open with, but that's part of dementia because there's certain parts in your life, right, that are memorable and they stick with you. So no matter whether you go in, out, up, or down, those certain parts in your life that truly affected you will continue to rise up with someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's. They can remember that like it was yesterday. They remember how they felt. They remembered everything. Now, for us, we were appalled. I know I was, bitch. I ain't even gonna sit up here and lie. I told y'all this is gonna be uncommon opinion. Maybe y'all agree with me, maybe y'all don't. But damn it, I'm gonna say what I gotta say, and I'm gonna be real with it. We not gonna play over here. We not gonna play. Her feet look like statues, bitch. It look like something that you see in Rome. She has lymphedema. Those of us who covers My 600-Pound Life, we've seen it. We've talked about it. We've engaged. We know what it is. But for a lot of people, they were absolutely shocked to see that lymphedema like that. Something that Wendy wasn't open about when she was able to filter it. But because of her diagnosis, she can't filter. Now, keep remembering, Wendy does not have the ability to filter how she feel about you, what she think, She don't remember. Remember when the other woman came in there and she sent her ass out of there for that outfit? And she was saying, Wendy, we got to get you dressed. And Wendy was like, I want to wear Chanel. And they was like, what's Chanel? And the girl was giving her clothes options. And she said, get the fuck up out of here, basically. And when she left out, she said, I don't like her. And he asked her, DJ Booth asked her why. She couldn't tell him why because she don't remember that. She just knows she don't fuck with her. Wendy was not even functional. And these are the people who's supposed to be taking care of her. In 2022, Wells Fargo froze Wendy's stuff amid questions about large withdrawals. And they filed a petition for temporary financial guardianship. Okay, Kevin Jr. says he took money out of her account only with her knowledge. And Williams said, okay, Wendy said she wants to share her money with her son. The nephew says she happily gave money to her son, spending $120,000 on his birthday party and contributing $80,000 to his rent, among other expenses. But then in the thing we saw that Wendy was starting to sell clothes. Now there was a DJ Booth had came into her apartment on that same time he saw the alcohol, and there was 15 G's sitting on the table. He disclosed that he had an account, a separate account where he was putting funds. How in the fuck is Wendy getting paid in cash? Is that because Wendy is selling? Now, when Wendy was talking about having her show, which is why I believe that she did a lot of this, but there was a bigger plot at the end, bitch. And I'm telling you, we're going to talk about it. When Wendy had that money, and I was thinking, what the hell is going on? Why is Wendy? We realized very quickly that Wendy was selling stuff. As I said, when she started talking about her future, being back on television, she talked about selling wigs. She talked about taking a wig off, having other people take their wigs off, and then she had a wig, a long wig that she said, okay, that she was going to sell. Wendy wanted her funds back. The family indicated that they had the wherewithal to take care of Wendy. I don't think so. Not in its totality. Because when they get to a point, when they get to a certain point, it's not manageable. Unless you are someone who really provides that level of care and you have the instruction and the patience and holding back and don't see them as the old Wendy, or you ain't going to disrespect me, it is very unmanageable. It's unmanageable. And you may have the best intent. I think that as family members, we do. But there's certain things we just can't do. We can't do. The sister said at the end, who I think wasn't going to be on there, that she had told them she would take the classes. She didn't hear back from them. They dropped them. The conservatorship. The girl that was the young lady or male, or whoever the fuck it is, decided that they were going to, hold on, let me read it so I can make sure I'm quoting it right. So it said last week, as Lifetime prepared to air the footage, her guardian, and this is according to the New York Times, whose identity has been redacted through the documentary, requested a temporary restraining order to block the network from airing it. But a judge turned down the request, citing that Wendy had the right to First Amendment free speech. Why? Because you knew we was going to see this. You knew that this was now going to get public opinion. You knew this was coming. This was coming. I would have tried to stop this too. Because I noticed, and it is my opinion, that the conservatorship did not fucking work. When you got people in there, when they came in that house and said there was no fucking food in the refrigerator, when that niece Alex came to Wendy's house and they sat her down and talked to her about her relationship with her aunt and how she had been greeted by her aunt and all that, there was an anticipation and an angst in me that said, bitch, Wendy may not even remember her. When she went in that room with Wendy and Wendy dry talked to her, it was palpable. Her feelings, the disappointment, the shock, the horror of her aunt was palpable. Did y'all feel that? I felt that down in my fucking toes. Felt it in my toes. I felt it. It hurt. I was brokenhearted for her. Bitch, I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I was devastated. I had to pause. I had to stop and pause. Because I ain't going to tell my business out here, but I'm telling you, I had to stop and pause. I felt it. Wendy blew her off like she was some chick that was salaried. She was one of those, I'm not going to let you get away with nothing. You raised me to be bold. You raised me to give my opinion. You raised me this way. And now that the shoes and the wheels have turned, and it is my turn to talk to you as my auntie and let you know we ain't going for the bull. You're not going to be in here drinking. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. And then when that bitch Sean, I don't know how, and I don't advocate for violence, but I'm telling you right now, I don't know how Denise did not put the paws up on that bitch. She refused to even engage with her. And I'm going to tell you right now, no, she doesn't, Linda. I don't believe she has a trust. That girl, in my opinion, was there for the money. When this bitch sat her ass up there and first of all lied to DJ Booth. So the assistant was the one that we kept seeing, this damn girl named Sean. Sean was everywhere, and I just wanted to brush her hair. That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to brush her hair. When DJ Booth called, and this girl had taken Wendy to California in the hopes that Wendy was going to have his show. That girl wanted his fucking job, in my opinion. She sat her ass up there on television, and she could not say or answer any of the questions that they asked her. Moreover, Wendy didn't have any protection other than a television crew, cameraman. She didn't have security. She didn't have the people that she loved. And Wendy was drinking. And according to the Sun, her dementia is caused by alcohol. And this damn girl is letting Wendy drink every time she get a chance. And she had the audacity, the unmitigated gall to sit her ass up there and say she ain't never seen Wendy drunk. Bitch, when have you seen her sober? Maybe that's the answer. You ain't never seen her fucking sober. Somebody laying lunch down in a bed like Wendy, and you ain't never seen her drunk. She drunk now. They said when they went to go and pick her up, Wendy was in the bathroom vomiting. And this bitch ain't never seen Wendy drunk. And then when asked in the car about what DJ Booth was doing, who was the only one who could check Wendy's ass, who I thought she was flirting with. What are you here for? Wendy alleges that she couldn't see her fucking family in Miami, and because she don't have a airline ticket, and she don't have access to her, but all of a sudden you gonna front the bill for her to go to NBC for a fucking podcast and going in and looking ghetto ratchet ass mess with them two big shorts on and that Gucci shirt and them damn tights. Wendy look like a motherfucking clown. And that was acceptable to you. So how the fuck do your mother look? I want to whoop her ass. Okay, Will, thank you for cleaning that up. Thank you. JB says what? Thank you. You're right. It was Will. Sean brought Wendy tickets to Los Angeles. When she got called on a carpet about what was going on and bring Wendy back, Wendy said, "I'll be out here 2-3 weeks, bitch. I'll be back when I be back." She said that Wendy had called her panicking and said she needed to go out there when her ass knew she had set up a damn appointment with her at NBC, and she let Wendy go like that. That means you don't care anything about Wendy or her image. You didn't even give a fuck about how she looked and how she represented herself. And Wendy said, I'm going to go in there and show my feet to a bunch of NBC execs. You going to show your feet and do what? Snatch your wig off too? The fuck is going on? This girl, in my opinion, cared nothing about Wendy. That's my opinion. It may not be actual or factual, but it's my opinion. The family is still continuing to fight for her. They did talk about the dementia. The son said he felt like Wendy drinking was self-sabotage. They tried to help. They tried to do everything. I was brokenhearted when they went down to Miami and Wendy was with the family and they were sitting at the table and she came in late and asked her brother to move over. And when she sat down with him, she called him Kevin. And Wendy's father's heart broke in pieces. It jarred him. It was jarring to him. It was completely jarring to him. He could not believe she recognized him. But when she sat down, she said, "Kevin, it's good to see you." That was her whole brother. Her father was tied done and through. Hold on for 1 second. But let me just cut to the chase. I was devastated by what I saw about both the family and the people around. I truly believe Wendy does have alcohol-induced dementia. And I truly believe that she is in the best place because we found out, y'all, at the end of this, that Wendy has been in a center. The family is continuing to fight for guardianship because, as I said, in 2002, the courts appointed a third party to be her guardian instead of her family members. And when they wrapped up the documentary, Wendy was still in treatment for her cognitive issues. They talked with her father, her sister, her brother, her niece, her nephew, everybody. Wendy is due to be reevaluated this year, 2024, and they are hoping to remove the third-party guardian, and their family is hoping to be more involved with Wendy. The family was able to get Wendy to do this, but I'm going to tell you, this was methodical. Let me tell you what I assessed. While we won't go forward scene for scene, line for line, Wendy did a Britney Spears, bitch. And dropped the mics on all our asses. Do y'all remember why Britney Spears was able to get rid of her conservatorship? If you do, put your hand up in the chat. Why did Britney Spears get rid of her mom and her daddy? At the end, it all became very clear. Public motherfucking opinion. We needed to see it. We needed to see what was done, the cause and effect, and we all need to be advocates. Because guess who's going to advocate for Wendy? Because, see, for some of us, seeing is believing. Some of us saw it and still probably don't believe it. And that's your prerogative. But that family said, bitch, she still wants to be on TV. She still wants to be here. Let's just tell her she got a podcast. Let's just tell her this is all for the podcast. Wendy did that thinking she was going to be back on TV. Oh, she was on TV. But the family needed us to see. They wanted us to see. So when this come up this year, we all going to be looking closer, harder. There's going to be a public outcry from we saw. We never saw the guardian. Cool. All that's sealed. We did see the assistant. We did see the alcohol. We did see the condition she was in. We did see the family get rejected. We did see all of that. We saw them advocating and saying, we took care of her. They showed pictures. They showed proof that when Wendy was with them in Miami, bitch, she was gaining weight. And the only thing that I took issue with is if you're with an alcoholic, you don't drink. You don't go to and it's just my opinion. You don't sit your ass in a restaurant and order alcohol around an alcoholic. That's the only thing I saw. When you're around her, you can't drink. But who freed Brittany? Our eyes, our ears. Who's going to free Wendy? Our eyes and our ears. This was methodical, deliberate, well planned out, released at the right time, while it's still pressing on people's mind. This is my opinion. They played ball. They gooped the girls. So when that come up, we're all going to be looking. Because we saw the system, in my opinion, as broken. We saw broken. They let us see Wendy at the bottom. Even when Denise was there, she was with the family. Wendy ain't together, and we know it. But they were able to get that alcohol, right? Put her in that treatment. I thought that one of the most touching things for me, in conclusion, was the way that Black China gave back. See, you changed my life. You made me give you didn't judge me. But when she touched Wendy in a place that I wouldn't have never, bitch, I wouldn't have never. It let me know that there was a bond there. Even though Whitney was not available. I mean, Whitney, bitch. I'm talking about Whitney. Even though Wendy was not available, Black China was there. And of all the things, I thought that that was the most beautiful. And people said she was just trying to cloud chase. How was she cloud chasing? I thought it was beautiful. Where's Wendy Williams? Right where we can see her. Right where we can see her. Now we're looking. We have insight now. Could have been manipulated, could not have been. We don't know. But bitch, we watching. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, I'm sorry, boo. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for the $5 super chat. Absolutely. My credit union texts me immediately with any funny looking charges. I'm playing catch up, but as the norm, you're gorgeous, Auntie. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Y'all, we watching now. We're watching. I love you all so much. Y'all have a great night. And until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water. Y'all let me know what y'all liked, what you didn't like about the show. Tell me, was this a Britney Spears moment? Was this methodical, thought out? Or is that just something that's in my imagination? Love y'all. Bye.